friends, welcome to the Lori Lulu Crochet Podcast, episode 121. My name is Lori. I live in the Chicago suburbs with my husband Ryan and our cat Daisy, and I love to crochet and I love to knit. And you can find all of that yarny, fiber, arts goodness on my social media, which is linked down below. All the yarns that I'm going to talk about, all of the patterns that I'm going to talk about, I will link in the show notes, which is in the description box below this video. So welcome. I'm glad you're here. Usually I start with life stuff, but obviously I have nothing to talk about because nothing has happened in my life since I last talked to you. Just kidding. Now I'll put all the cruise stuff towards the end. So if you don't want to hear about my wonderful vacation, then you don't have to worry about it. Like, I'm not gonna make you sit through it to get to the yarny goodness, shall we? If I can figure out how chapters go on YouTube, I will put things in chapters so you can just skip to it if you want. Again, all that will be down below if I figure it out. So, anyway. Should we just get into the yarny goodness? I think we should. I have a finished object to show you. I haven't even posted on this about this on social media yet either, so yeah. They are the kitty ankle socks. Look at how cute those are. That is by Ginger Bean. She's in Oregon Knit on Instagram. Those are so cute. They were living in my Marvel Avengers bag that I made myself. The yarns were like scrappy yarns that I had around here. Oh, I don't even have. Yeah. So I think these two are Valley Yarns Huntington in Heather Gray and Black. And then this is Cascade Heritage Sock in Placid Blue, I think is what it's called. So yeah, you ready to see? Here are my finished socks. I haven't even woven in all the ends. Like, there's so many ends on the inside here. I'm not ready to do those yet. I don't know why I've been putting it off, but yeah. So last time you saw I was here, so I finished the foot. I did the heel. I did a shadow wrap heel. I didn't do the heel in the pattern. And then what you're supposed to do, I think it's 6 rounds of regular stockinette, and then they want you to do 10 rounds of 1x1 rib. I did 2x2, except for over here. Somehow I got off on that first row, so that one kind of looks a little off and funky, but anyway, so let me show you. You've seen these before, but just wanted to show you what my kitties look like. So I did mine differently. Obviously, you can tell. I changed it so it's like a different color and the cats kind of stand out from that color. And then also I added this white patch here because both of my cats, Dixie, who has passed away, and then Daisy as well, they both had white. Like, it came all the way up to their, like, Dixie, it came all the way up to her nose. Daisy, it comes all the way up to her nose. So yeah. So yeah, I thought, oh, they turned out so cute. And I showed them to Ryan, and he really liked them. And I was like, okay, do you want me to make you some? He's like, no, don't worry about it. And I was like, I can. He's like, no, I don't want any. I was like, okay. So maybe I'll surprise him for his birthday. I don't know. That's not till December though. I've got time to plan for that. So actually I'm going to put these in here so I can weave in the ends. But we're going to throw that over there for now, along with my soft blockers. And that's my finished object. For makes in progress, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I don't think I worked on my Crochet Memories blanket, so I'm not gonna worry about showing it. I did want to show you my cardigan. I'm thinking about frogging it, and doing something different. I'm just not happy with it right now. But I'm gonna sit on it. I'm not gonna frog just yet. I'm gonna sit on it. But I will show you how far I've gone on this. So it's living in my Christmas sheep tote bag, which is just so cute. The yarns that I'm using, well, yarn, because I have several balls of this yarn. There it is. Ooh. Okay, so this is the yarn that I'm using. It is from Joann. It is Eddie Bauer Cozy Camp. It is 100% recycled acrylic, which I really like that. The colorway is called Carbon. Again, it's a black marled looking yarn, which I like a lot. You can still order it because I actually ordered 3 more skeins because I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough yarn because I made modifications to the pattern, and now I'm like, maybe I'll just do something totally different. I don't know. So here is the cardigan so far. Whoa. Am I seeing things or is that just playing tricks? Does that look like totally different shades right there? Like there's a line right there. Is that just me? Anyway, yeah, so I'm at the point where I'm just like going back and forth, but the way that this fits, I mean, it fits over a sweatshirt, so that's great. Like, it's nice and big and cozy, but I am just not happy with how this is back here. And the way it kind of does this. Like, I just want something that hangs straight. I just don't know. I'm not happy with it, honestly. I'm really not. It's not going to get better because this will always be constructed this way. So, I think I'm just going to frog it. Find something else, maybe. Or maybe change it. Yeah, this has got to go because I don't like it. I don't like the way it feels back there. Just, no. Not going to work. So, but yeah. And see, like, I haven't really made that much progress on it because I don't want to work on it because I don't like it. So, yeah, it's just going to be frogged. And we'll figure out something else later. But I should have plenty of yarn now. I have 12 skeins of yarn. I like the fabric. I liked what it was doing. Although, I would like something a little bit more solid, I think. Don't really want those holes. Yeah, there's a lot of things about this pattern. Not to say that it's a bad pattern, it's not. I didn't even tell you what it was. It's the Halsey cardigan by Katie and the Squid. I have done her patterns before and I have loved them. So there's just something about this one that bothers me. Like, you can't even tell, like, on her, like, it doesn't look like, it looks like it lays flat. Whereas mine was, like, more like a shawl collar. Anyway, that's that. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've done on the projects that I didn't take with me on the cruise. So on the cruise, I took 3 projects. Yeah, I took 3. And I took 3 books with me. I really only read the one. I'll show it to you later. But yarny goodness, here we go. So I took this project with me. This has been in timeout for a while. I was like, you know what? I'll have plenty of time to work on this and get it done. It is the Siri shawl by Hannah Sigmund of the Cozy Cottage Crochet. Like, it's a big asymmetrical shawl. Love it. Not sure if I like the yarn that I use with it, but I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna work on it. It's gonna be done. But I didn't do much. Actually, I had it with me at the airport when we were coming home. So, like, we got off the ship. We got to the airport at 10:30. Our plane didn't go until 7:50. Actually, it was later than that. But, so we had a long time in the airport. And, I did 2 rows. Actually, I should say 2 row repeats. I just wasn't feeling it. I've lost my Crojo and my knitting mojo, and I don't want to work on anything. Maybe that'll change once I've shared everything with you, and then I feel like I can work on stuff again. But yeah, so here is my shawl so far. It's pretty big. Can't even fit it all on. There you go. Yeah. The yarn that I'm using is Lion Brand Shawl and a Cake in the colorway Wind Chimes. So yeah, I still want to work on this. I still want to get this one done. It's not as bad as the Halsey cardigan, where it's like, oh, I just don't want to work on this. I do. Just there's other things I want to work on more. It's kind of how I'm feeling right now. Anyway. Then I wanted to show you, I started this on the plane, in the airport, and on the plane ride down to Florida. Living in my Mickey and Minnie bag. It is the Cottage Faded Linen Cowl by Catherine Trinity. Real simple, moss stitch, linen stitch, whatever you want to call it. Cowl. The yarn that I am using is Earth Yarns in their Unique Fingering Way colorway. I don't have the band with me, so I can't tell you the color number because they don't do colors, they just do numbers. But yeah, you can see there's plenty of colors right here. Let me show you. So I've gone through, so basically it's 2 colors and then it changes to another 2 colors and then there'll be 2 more colors and then, yeah, it's a big repeat. So, yeah, that's as far as I've gotten. Again, it was like, oh yeah, I could work on this while we watched Up on the Funnel Vision by the pool. I worked on it for a bit and then it's like, oh, we need to go do this. And then, yeah. So obviously I didn't get much stitching done on anything really. But I did take a pair of socks with me. My socks, I usually do, especially like if I'm going to be like traveling somewhere, I try to just do vanilla socks so I don't really have to pay too much attention. I can just knit on them. I always do mine 2 at a time, toe up. I follow kind of have my own recipe of socks, but I kind of basically follow the basic toe-up pattern by Wendy Progner Geckner, which is linked down below. And I have started doing the shadow wrap heel by don't know who created it, but there's a tutorial by Denise of Earth Tones Girl that's linked down below. Real simple pattern, heel pattern. I love it. Excuse me. So, because my cruise was going down to Mexico, I took it in my Frida Kahlo bag. And on the one day at sea, when we were in line for meeting characters and getting pictures, I just had this with me, and I was knitting throughout. I was knitting in line. So, the yarns that I'm using, I have this, it's Valley Yarns Huntington again, in their spring green colorway. And then I have this Hobie Silly Sock colorway. You can tell my socks won't be matching because of the way the colors are coming up. I think the colorway was Gracious Voltage. I don't have a band with me right now, but I started the toe and finished the toe in the hotel before we got on the ship. So when I was on the ship, I was only working on the fun colors. So obviously, yeah, as I said, my socks don't match, and I don't care about that. It'll be fine. So that's where they are so far. Aren't they cute? I'm really loving these green colors. I wish I could get these done in time for St. Patrick's Day, but I'm doubting that I'm gonna get it done. And plus, this is my luck usually, because it's like I'm mostly Irish, so I like to celebrate my Irishness and wear green and wear all the shamrocks and stuff like that. But usually in the middle of March Madness, college basketball, my team usually ends up playing on St. Patrick's Day, and their color is blue. So, St. Patrick's Day is on a Sunday this year. If they make it to the championship game of their conference tournament, they will be playing on St. Patrick's Day. So, I will most likely be wearing my Kentucky socks because I want to support my team. By the way, it's the University of Kentucky Wildcats. I bleed blue. I love my Wildcats. As much as I love being Irish, I will probably wear, and I would love to wear these on St. Patrick's Day. I will probably be wearing my Kentucky socks if they're playing. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm really loving these socks. My bag actually has a divider, so I can have the the socks for the two yarns in each place. So, silly socks. I'm calling these my silly Pixar socks. So those are my makes in progress. Obviously, I have another blanket. I'm not sure if I worked on it since the last time I talked to you about it. I think I have, but anyway. I do have a project that I need to get started. And I need to get it done because it's a blanket for a baby that is coming in May. So that needs to get done. I talked about it to you guys before, but I'm actually going to be starting it this week. It is the Call the Midwife blanket. Oh, it is one of my favorite baby blanket patterns. This is like my go-to. Now it is for a boy, and I'm kind of worried. Like, obviously, I won't be doing this scalloped edging. I've got plans for how I want to do the edging, but I still think this is so sweet. I love how it looks. So I'm doing 2 colors. Sorry, my nose is just itching. All the fluff. Yard fluff. Oof, still going up my nose. So, the yarns I'm going to use, Big Twist, Value. So this is 100% acrylic, so it's very durable for baby. This is the colorway Ivory. And then I have this one, which is Sage. Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's Sage, but... So we have this beautiful Ivory and Sage, which... So my boss, it's his first grandbaby. I'm like, you know what? This blanket can stay at Grandpa's house. I've chose those colors because my boss is a Michigan State fan. And while Michigan State is like a bright green, I didn't really want to do a bright green for a baby. So it's Michigan State-esque-ish colors that we're doing for this blanket. So, and that's all the yarny goodness. Shall we get on to the cruise? Let me just say that I was very worried. I wouldn't say I was worried, but not like anxious about feeling sick when I got home. Because all previous cruises, I've come home feeling like really crappy. The first 2, I had debarkation syndrome, which is where you feel like you're still on the ship for a while afterwards. Yeah, you just feel like you're going like this all the time, and it's not fun. The second time I had it for like 3 months. 3 months afterwards. It was horrible. The third cruise that I went on, I came home with the flu. The 4th cruise I went on, I came home with COVID. Yeah. So this time I was making sure I took the right medications for seasickness. And honestly, I think I would have been okay not taking anything. Because we missed a couple times and I was fine. So maybe I don't need to take Dramamine or anything. Anyway, and then I also made sure to take like immune boosting. I got the gummies. I just like having like my multivitamins. I have to do gummies because if I take the regular pills, they make me sick to my stomach. So I got gummies. And I'm still taking them every morning. So I came home, I felt fine. Every once in a while I'll have a little, but not very often. And I did not get sick. I do have like a post-nasal drip kind of thing going on, but it's not bad. Like I'll have a little cough every once in a while, but nothing like I've had in the past. So, knock on wood, I'm still good. Actually, let's knock on the windowsill. That's better. Yeah. Ryan, however, he was feeling this for several days after the cruise. And I was like, because he would make fun of me. It's like, oh, it's not so funny, is it? No, it's not. And then he had like a sinus infection. He's getting over it now, but so yeah, he got all the post-cruise sickness and I did not. So I'm very thankful for that. So yeah, it was a great trip. We went down 2 days before that we set sail. And so we had a whole afternoon, evening in Orlando, hanging out at the hotel. There's a gas station nearby, so we went and got like pops and stuff for the cruise, because you can take that on the cruise ship with you. And while we were there was a stray cat walking around that looked an awful lot like Dixie. So we were just like really missing her. And then Then the Friday, we had a whole day in Orlando. So we decided we were going to go to Epcot. I haven't been to any of the Disney parks since 1994. That's 30 years ago. So, and I have never been to Epcot. I've never been to Animal Kingdom either because that wasn't built the last time I was there. And Ryan has never been to any Disney park. So I was like, let's go to Epcot. I think that would be more fun for you anyway than any other park. Although I think he would really like Animal Kingdom. I would really like to go to Animal Kingdom. So anyway, so we went to Epcot. We had a whole day there. Rode several rides. We had a special lunch. We got reservations at Garden Grill, which is a restaurant and it actually rotates over a ride. So there's a ride, it's called Living with the Land, and it's about farming and all this stuff. And they take you through the greenhouses that Disney has and like the things that they're science stuff that they're doing while they're trying to figure out like how to make better vegetables and stuff like that and climate sustaining stuff and all that. So this restaurant is over that ride, and it slowly rotates. I mean, it's really slow, really slowly rotating. And then they had Mickey, who was dressed up like a farmer, which I was like, Farmer Ryan and Farmer Mickey need to meet. We also got to meet Chip and Dale and Pluto. They were they were there as well. Yeah. And then when I signed us up, they were like, are you celebrating anything? I was like, yeah, it's our anniversary. So they got us a special dessert, and then they gave us some champagne, which we were like, I mean, I took a sip, but I just, I can't stand alcohol. I don't like it. I don't like the burning feeling in the back of my throat. Just not my thing. So, but it was still nice that they were like, here, we'll help celebrate. And we also got like little pins. Where are they? I think they're in the other room. So they're like big pins of, it says happily ever after, because those are the wedding pin. Like if you're celebrating your honeymoon at Disney, you get these pins. But they put 20 years instead of 20 years because we're celebrating our 20th. So people all, they'd see me wearing that because Ryan wasn't wearing his. And they, oh, congratulations, thank you. So everything was really good at Epcot except the last ride we went on, which was Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, which we both loved the movie. We were going to be eating at Remy on the ship, like all this stuff. Like it was just like, we need to go out on this one ride. And when we got in line, it said 110 minutes, which was a long time to wait. But it actually was longer. We actually waited like 2.5 hours to ride this ride. And it was cute, and I loved it, but it is not a 2.5 hour wait worth of a ride. Like, nope. So, and then it was like, we're tired, our feet are hurting. We don't want to be extra tired tomorrow when we get on the ship. So we left after that. We just had a relaxing evening at the hotel. I colored my hair, which it's really fading. I'm gonna have to color it this evening. So my hair was like nice and purple for the cruise. And I actually dyed it again in the middle of the cruise, which was fun in that tiny bathroom. And everything is white. Everything is white. Trying not to get purple anywhere. That was fun. And the ship is going. That was a fun adventure. Excuse me. So yeah, so then the next day we got on the ship. Oh my gosh. It's like Disney knows how to make things memorable. And so like one of the things that like is tied to memories is smell. And so like they have this smell that they pump around the ship. You walk in and you smell it, and it's just like, I'm home. not that I'm home, but it's like, oh, I'm in my happy place. This is where I want to be. So yeah, our ports of call. So we set sail. We had a day at sea. Ryan and I signed up for the Hey Howdy breakfast with Woody and friends. So like we got to meet Woody and Jesse. Bullseye couldn't quite make it through the tables because of how big his costume was and how narrow the gap between the tables was. And we just we had Remy that day, and we dressed up in our Mickey and Minnie costumes, and then it was formal night that night, so we got to see Mickey and Minnie in their formal gear, and we got pictures with them as we were dressed as them. Then we had the next day we were at Cozumel, Mexico, and we did a salsa and salsa excursion. Excuse me. Which we learned how to make salsa. 6 types of salsa. We did like a spicy red one. We did a green tomato one, which was really good. Then we did guacamole, which we mixed the avocado with the green salsa. Hands down, some of the best guacamole I've ever had. And I made it. I made it myself. Then we also did pico de gallo. We did pico de gallo with pineapple. It's like we had the pico de gallo, and then we made another bowl and added pineapple to it. That was really good. Really enjoyed that one. And then they gave us another bowl with pineapple, cantaloupe, apple, and coconut. Which I'm not a fan of coconut, just the texture of it. I love the taste of it. I just don't like the texture of it. But when I was eating that with chips, it's like the chips kind of disguised the texture of it, so I loved it. It was really good. And then they gave us ice cream, and you could put that fruity salsa on the ice cream, and that was really good. But then I could tell the texture of the coconut, which kind of defeated the whole experience. And then after all of that, we pushed the tables aside and we learned how to salsa dance. But it was very difficult to understand them because the way the speakers were in the building, and of course it's an old building, so everything is echoey, and just trying to understand them. I think I did okay. There's a couple steps where I was like, I'm not sure I'm getting this right. Ryan was just trying to keep up. And so, like, and he was nervous about dancing anyway. But there was lots of margaritas while we were there, which I didn't have any. I got, they asked if you're not drinking, because there were several kids in the excursion. Like, if you're not drinking, raise your hand. So I raised my hand, and they gave me this sign that has this big red X through it, like, do not give this person alcohol. And I was like, well, gee, that makes me feel, I don't know how that makes me feel. But at the same time, it's like, I don't want to drink this. This will ruin my experience. So, but there were lots of other people that didn't have any problems with that, and they were quite drunk. By the time we left, and by the time we started dancing, and this one couple, they weren't even trying. They were out of it. And I was like, so Brian, don't worry about getting the steps because they're not worried about it at all. Just saying. And he's like, okay. And then the next day we were at Georgetown Grand Cayman. And this one, we didn't have an excursion. We had an excursion, but I canceled it because I was worried. It was a kayaking one, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to kayak. Like, I'm so out of shape. I need to get in shape. So we just got on a taxi bus. Thankfully, we were with a lot of other people, so like that kind of alleviated some of my anxiety. And then we get to the 7 Mile Beach, which is what Grand Cayman is known for. And it was so packed because there were 4 cruise ships total. And I'll put a picture in of my view of the beach because there was no view of the beach. We did go down into the water. It was very cold. But like, you know, it's the kind of cold where it's like once you're in it, you get used to it and you're fine. On Castaway Cay, it was a lot colder. And that was a little harder to get used to. Anyway. So we got a few souvenirs and stuff there. Got back on the ship. Had lunch. All of that. So, then the next day we were in Falmouth, Jamaica. We woke up and we had a balcony and I opened the curtains. And right there was like this big Jamaican flag and another cruise ship. Like I couldn't see really anything other than this flag and this cruise ship from our window. So we walked out and then you could see more of the port towards the left. And they have redone their port. It is gorgeous. It is so awesome. We didn't book an excursion for that one. We were just going to go to the port and shop. It's like the American government has issued warnings about Jamaica for tourists. Like, be careful when you go. Like, it's not really the best. So we just stayed in the port area. Like, don't go out beyond that. Stay in the port. It's fine. So we just did a lot of shopping. There, pretty much throughout the whole trip, every time I look at the water, like it's just this beautiful blue. And I was like, I wish I could find something that would represent it really well. And so I was like, well, maybe I could find jewelry that looks like it. And so I told Ryan, I was like, I would like to find a ring with a jewel that looked like the sea because it is such a beautiful blue. I want something to represent that. And he's like, okay, well, we'll look, see what we can find. There's a store, big sign, Caribbean Blue Topaz. Well, let's go look. So I found this ring, and yeah, it's so pretty. It's a little small. Like, I'm having trouble getting it on and off right now because I'm really warm. Honestly, the blue is a little bit darker in the sea, but it's still pretty. It's still pretty close to what it is. Especially like when you are in the middle of the ocean and you can't really see land. Like that blue is it's just gorgeous. And then when you get to like an actual port, it becomes more turquoisey, green colored. So yeah, so this is a blue topaz, and then this is actually blue opal right through here, which kind of represents when it gets more turquoisey. So, we got this, and you can see how dry my hands are. So we found this ring. He gave me matching earrings, which these are not the earrings. These are my Mickey Mouse peridot earrings. I got earrings, and then Ryan's like, well, I want a turtle, and so he grabbed this turtle. That was in there. And I was like, 146. That'll be your total for all of that. I was like, dang, that's a pretty good deal. And I was like, oh, I feel bad, like we spent that much. And Ryan's like, well, you know, it is our 20th wedding anniversary. And our honeymoon, we didn't have money, so we couldn't spend any money. So why not? Let's celebrate. Like, okay. And then we walked out the door, and there was this guy selling baskets. And I was like, I really like those baskets. So I got one. Of course, I got the purple one. And I just love it. I think it was $20 total. And then I got a bunch of other little souvenirs. So after Jamaica, we had another day at sea, and this was the official Pixar day at sea. So Ryan and I dressed up like Carl and Ellie from Up because we're celebrating our anniversary. And we had a nice brunch at Palo, which is an Italian restaurant. Their chicken parm, like I'm not a chicken parm person, but somebody recommended it, and like on a video I had seen, so I was like, I'll try it. I dream about this chicken parm. I've had it 3 times now. It is so good. Like everybody talks about the lasagna too, but it's like I don't want to try the lasagna because I know the chicken parm is so good. Why would I try anything else? So yeah, that was our pretty much our day at sea. In the evening, they had a costume parade, so everybody that was dressed up like a Pixar character could do this parade. So they kind of lined everybody up according to movie. So if you're Toy Story, you're over here. If you were Incredibles, you're over here. And if you're Up, you're over here. So there were a lot of Kevins. Not Kevins, Russells. Russell is the little boy. There were a lot of people dressed like Russell. But there was this other couple that was dressed like Carl and Ellie, and they were older, like in their 70s. He had a wig on. And then she looked, like older Ellie has, the gray hair with her hair in a ponytail in the back. Like she looked like Ellie. It was so cute. So we got talking to them. We're like, us Carl and Ellie's need to stick together. And they're like, oh, okay. And so we're chatting with them. And we're like, where are you from? And they're like, we're from a small suburb on the south side of Chicago. We are too. Come to find out, they live less than 5 miles away from us. And so I asked them their name. They told me it's a very Dutch name. And I was like, have you heard of Elam Christian Services? And they're like, we love Elam. And I was like, that's where we work. And he was like, actually, I used to be the board president of Elam. I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, I used to be on the Dutch Fest committee. And eventually, like, their daughters came around and they were like, you look so familiar. And I was like, you've probably seen me at Dutch Fest, honestly. Because that's my job. So, we were just laughing. It's like, we live 5 miles apart. And yet, we meet in the middle of the Caribbean Sea. Just nuts. Just nuts. And then the next day, we still have more days to go. We were at Castaway Cay, which is Disney's private island and in the Bahamas. And it was a gorgeous day. We got bikes. We rode out to the lookout point so we could see the whole island. And then we just went to the adult side of the island for the beach. There were a lot of adults that were there. Like, it was very busy on Serenity Bay. The barbecue that they have over there is, they have a lot more options than they do on the family side. Like steak and tuna and like all the stuff. So we definitely enjoyed our lunch there. And just, read on the beach. The book that I read the most it's called To Marry an English Lord, which is inspired Downton Abbey, and my favorite podcast, which is The History Chicks. Like, they love this book and they recommend it all the time. So yeah, it's a very good book. It's a nonfiction book. It's about the women who marry, American women who marry into the English aristocracy and take all their money over there and help build that up. Anyway, but yeah, so Castaway Cay was our last day. We had to pack up, get everything ready, and the next day we got off the ship. We're not on a boat. That's a callback to my first cruise ever. And then we were at the airport for forever. And then like right before we got on the airplane, like there was a kerfuffle between this older gentleman who's in a wheelchair and this other lady who had bought like pre-boarding rights, and like they were kind of having an argument. And then when that kind of blew over and she walked away and he was still waiting, and you could just see like he was still talking about it. He was still just blah, 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 blah. And Ryan was getting so angry, and he was like, kindness goes both ways. Just saying. And then I'm like, but it was okay. Like, we got home. It was like 11:30 when we got home. Yeah, it was late. And then I've been back to work for the last 4 days. Because I took Monday off. I had so much laundry to do. It took me all day. All day laundry. So yeah, just trying to get back in the swing of things at work. Of course, it didn't help that my computer was being stupid. Not stupid, it was just, it was being really slow. And so I called IT. I was like I couldn't even get some programs to open, and it's like, I need this program to open so I can do my job. And so I called or emailed IT, and he actually took my computer and he had it for 4 hours, so I had nothing to do. I mean, there were some things I could do without a computer, but then it was like, so, but then I left for a little bit, came back. My computer's working better, not as well as I would like. And he said next year I'm up for a new computer, so that'll be nice. But I did want to show you some of my souvenirs that I got. I figured you guys would like them. I got a lot of t-shirts on all the islands and stuff, but my favorite thing that I've gotten was my Minnie Mouse. I have wanted this sweatshirt for so long, and every time I go, it's either they don't have it in my size, or I find something else. I'm like distracted by something else, and then I forget I really want that sweatshirt. Anyway, so in Jamaica, I got this bracelet. It is blessing beads, and it is actually assembled by a community of artisans with disabilities. So when I saw that sign, I was like, I'm gonna support these artists. So yeah, the seed beads are called Job's Tears. It's actually, blessing beads, sorry. They are actually seeds that they collect from this natural grass. I got the starfish. I thought it was really cute. But yeah, it's just cute little, cute little bracelet. I love it. I'm so excited. And then of course, because of what being a project or fiber artist, our project bags, we always put pins and stuff on them. I found a bunch of pins that I like. Of course, at Disney, pins are a thing. So since we went to Epcot, I got a Epcot pin. This is the one I got in Jamaica. Oh. It's basically just a map of the island that looks like the flag, and they have the flag over it. But this one is my favorite. This is from the Cayman Islands. That's their flag, and a turtle, and that's so cute. I'm very excited about that one. We also got these grape soda badges to go with our Carl and Ellie outfits. And then I found this keychain on Castaway Cay, and you have several different charms. So you have an anchor, and there's a palm tree, and then obviously a beach ball. I'm thinking I'm going to take these two smaller ones and make progress keepers out of those, and then this one is really heavy, so I wouldn't want that on a project. So yeah, so I got the Disney Cruise logo on all of these. This one says Castaway Cay on it right there. So yeah, very excited about that one. Now that I've shown it to you guys, I can get it all set up. I was honestly thinking the other day, I need to make a project bag that's just plain so I could put all my pins on it. Maybe. We'll see. Ooh. Why did we go so dark all of a sudden? I don't see any clouds. Anyway, there's just the one. So, that is all I'm going to talk to you about today. I've talked a lot. My throat is starting to hurt. So I'm going to go. I will see you in 2 weeks. God bless. Bye. Here is the To Marry an English Lord by Gail McCall and Carol Wallace. Yeah, like I said, Downton Abbey. There it is, an inspiration for the popular television show Downton Abbey. And since Daisy stole my other basket, I figured this one would be cute to hold all my knitting and a drink on the couch for me. Hi, Editing Lori here. I did want to put in a video here at the very end of the costume parade that Ryan and I were in. Warning, the music's a little loud. I'm trying to turn it down. But yeah, so somebody from our cruise videoed the costume parade and sent me a copy of the video that she took. So enjoy!
Incredible. Wow, the adventure really